Prepare to attack the enemy's control points.
Get behind me, Doctor!
I am fully charged!
You are listening to Control Point, a Team Fortress 2 podcast with Brent Copeland, Eric Fullerton, Wes Wilson, and Spencer Williams.
Control Point, Episode 8, recorded on December 9th, 2007.
I'm Brent Copeland.
I'm Eric Fullerton.
I'm Wes Wilson.
I'm Spencer Williams.
And we have a guest podcast host tonight.
Hey, what's your name?
Mojache, the Moon Princess.
Right.
Nice.
Rob in the house.
He's here to control your point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now you can confuse everybody again with this Rob talk.
Yeah, like we just went over that, but...
So,
I mean,
what else do we have in the briefcase besides our guest podcast host?
Well, today we have lots of CP server gaming this week, new amusing videos, and of course our dossier, The Heavy.
The Heavy.
And so,
which is why we pulled Mojache in.
Yeah, because...
supposedly you know something about heavies.
I'm a horrible heavy. You guys pulled me in for a heavy? That was a bad call. Like, I'm not a good heavy at all. Like,
we've seen this.
Good pyro, maybe, or a demo, but I think heavy's my worst class. I think it's my least played, so that was a bad call, guys.
Yeah, well, we needed help. We need lots of help.
It's better than us, which is saying something.
Yeah, speaking of most and least played classes, we also have some news from Valve and stuff like that we'll be talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot to put that in there.
So,
but we got the devil turnip here to keep us straight and in line. So
the what?
Devil turnip, isn't that you?
Yeah, but how am I keeping you in line?
By letting us know that we have stats to talk
Threatening
about.
to beat us down before the show? I heard that. I distinctly heard that.
I still have these flashbacks to that night in the sewers. What are you doing? I was this medic jumping back and forth. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't me. Just in my dreams.
So anyway, weekly status. Hey,
why don't you go first, Spencer?
I went first last week. Eric.
That's true. Okay, I'll go. Okay, let's see. I played some Skyscraper. Skyscraper is immensely boring.
It's terrible.
It's okay. I mean, I got to I don't know how many platforms I got to, but I got to a couple, and I kept dying, or you'd have like 10 health, and I can't do it any longer.
It's not technically. It's not a Team Fortress game. It's a puzzle game.
Right. Yeah. And there's a little bit of water at the bottom, so you never die if you fall. That's nice. Just like the falling map has a little bit of water to prevent fall death.
6 inches of water can save your life.
Unless you hit those dang things on the side, and then you're hurting.
Or the control point.
True.
Ooh, splat.
Or that tiny little platform.
Yes.
It's like a little tiny island to rocket jump off of.
So Skyscraper is I've never played it. Is this something people should play?
No, never.
I've never played it.
Did you play it, Rob?
No, I've never played it.
Oh God! I joined up a game. I forget one of our guys, one of the CP guys was playing it, and I was like, oh, I've heard people talk about this. And what it is, if you haven't played it, is it's this giant tower that's covered with that's surrounded by disconnected islands, and the only way to get up at all is to rocket jump or grenade jump, and I don't know.
The puzzle game is getting to the top. Now, if you get to the top, you can capture the control point that's way, way up there, but you got to live to make it up there.
That's easy. You know how you do that?
How?
Just get a demo man, get a medic, charge up your Uber, put 8 demo mines down, shoot yourself up while you're Uber charged.
No, you don't understand how high it is.
It's that
really
high. Okay.
And
8 sticky bombs higher than high. Okay.
Yes, it's higher than high. And actually, I played a little bit of demo on this map, and I could get myself up a little bit, but then the trick also is you've got to hit the ledges that have the health on them. If you don't, then you've got to make another jump, which means you're going to take more damage, and it's a game of can I make the jumps to the ledges with the health without dying first.
I think Wes is making this sound more entertaining than it actually is.
I spent a good 45 minutes on it.
Wow, you're lame.
I hate you.
I know.
So anyway, Eric, we interrupted you.
Oh yeah. So I played that this week. It was okay, but and played lots of stuff on our server, and that was really fun. I still only have about 30 minutes a day to play at the end of the night, but that was a lot of fun. We had a full 16, or is it 16 max?
20. We got 20 max.
Okay, then maybe it wasn't full. I think we had 16.
We had 17 on there. The last time I got on and you were on, we had 17 on the server.
Oh, okay.
And we don't reserve slots on our servers, but we'll get into that.
Oh, where do you guys host your server?
Gameservers.com.
Really? Gameservers.com. Wow.
Gameservers.com.
I might go buy a server from Gameservers.com.
You know what? I think we should clarify for anyone that thinks we're not actually advertising for them. We don't get anything in return for saying their name. We just think it's funny. So.
We don't get anything for saying Gameservers.com.
No, we don't get anything for saying Gameservers.com.
Anyway, Wes, how was your week?
My week was terrible.
Really?
It was wretched. It was so foul and unbelievably bad. I cannot tell you. I was slaughtered mercilessly over and over and over again. I have not played this bad in a long time. It was to the point where I started sending depressing messages to Brent going, have you ever just not had any fun while you were playing?
And I had to just ignore it and kill the next guy because I was doing pretty well. I was like, man. And I think it might have been Wes.
I mean, it was one of these things where I would walk out of the resupply room and die, and then I would walk out of the resupply room and die. And then additionally, I have a real problem with a sense of responsibility for the victory of my team. So let's say we're playing.
Wait. You do realize we're talking about a game here.
Yes. Okay. I have a guilt issue. If no one is defending the flag, I feel the need to come in, you know? So let's say we're playing and scouts are getting into our flag room. Well, y'all know how much I love playing engineer, but if we have no engineers and there's no sentry guns up, I'm going to go engineer and I'm going to put a sentry gun in the flag room.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's guilt.
Well, if you're playing,
you killed me a few times.
I did, and that was fun. But you know how much fun I have playing the engineer. So I'm sitting in the stupid flag room going, "Wow, I'm having such a great time. Okay, I'll stop that scout. Wow, I was useful." But so my scores were terrible.
Are you saying that you're in a Team Fortress 2 malaise?
It's not really that. It's that I sucked this week. It has nothing to do with my emotional state. It has to do with the fact that I sucked.
I got a suggestion for you.
What?
I know this podcast you could listen to. They give out tips and tricks.
They also have a server, I think, on Gameservers.com.
Very true.
But it was really bad, too, because my score ended up being, really low. And I ended up, how we were bragging last week about being in the top, 3 or 4. I'm playing against the people who are listening to the show I do for advice. People are sending me messages in game saying, by the way, thanks for all the advice. I'm doing so well. And I'm going, you're doing well against me. Thanks. It was very humbling.
Created a monster.
That's engineer though. Engineer is so hit or miss in some games.
Yeah, I agree.
You can go to 2-4 and you can build in the basement, but if their whole team never makes it to the basement, you just sit there for 20 minutes going,
yeah, man, this is boring.
Yeah, that actually, I was playing earlier today, and Mojache was playing with me, and we were on. I never say any of the custom app names right, so I'm going to say this one wrong. Mach 2.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Mach 2.
Yeah, and me and another engineer had set up a couple of turrets right by the Intel, and I'd seen that be very effective before, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to get in on some of that. And their team sucked so bad that they never got anywhere close to the Intel. So
he had to send taunts.
So then I started going out with my pistol and started trying to shoot people with my pistol.
Well, that's good. In Mach 2, if you're bored and nothing's going on, you can just walk out the front door and get in the action. Yeah. But if you've got your gun in the flag room of 2 Fort, you're talking about a hike. And yeah, that's no fun. So that was my,
Oh, too, for it. Sometimes people, like, you got your turret in the basement, but someone sets one up upstairs on the ramp, and if you set it up properly in the ramp, nobody ever makes it to the basement.
Yes.
They have to get past that one first.
Have you seen those bidder engineers, though? Like, when your gun's getting all the kills and they come and set theirs up at the next station before yours?
Yeah.
I've been one of those before.
But it was, so my week was spent watching other people get kills that I deserve to get. Additionally, wow.
Wow.
I need to get you a T-shirt made.
QQ.
Less QQ, more pew pew.
You know what's going to be bad is when you guys do the spy, and then the next week everybody's playing spy against Wes.
God.
Yeah, that's
That's going to be rough.
So, have we not done the episode about spies yet?
No, that's going to be the episode 9.
Wow,
10.
I swear I remember that episode, like, clearly.
No. It's
like how my
Have you
gameplay
been-
goes.
Have you been eating mushrooms?
Not today, no.
Okay.
Somebody's been sapping your brain.
spies sapping my brain. The other thing that happened this week, me and Mojache were playing on this one Dust Bowl server.
God.
And it got to the point where I thought we were on Xbox Live.
It's so bad.
Mojache ended up basically, the racism started flying, and there was like a really patently verbally Texas person, like a Texan who was very racist. And
Are you sure he wasn't from Arkansas?
he could have been.
But we don't like people from Texas, so we like to say the racist are in Texas.
Oh, God. I can see the emails now.
I was saying it was a person that sounded like they were anyway, point being that it just really got really, really bad. And then all of a sudden, somebody on the team noticed Mojache's name, which on the game list is Mojache the Moon Princess. And all of a sudden, that's all that this guy could talk about. He just started laughing, and he's like, "I can't. You get such props, Mojache the Moon Princess. That rules. And it wouldn't stop.
Wow.
How did you feel about that, Rob?
I hate when, I felt pretty good, but I hate when people start talking about other things other than the game. It just gets so frustrating because it's like when, me and Wes play or something and we're doing like, a medic heavy or a medic anything. Yeah. And, you're kind of like, all right, get this ammo box. We're going around the corner. We're going to this. And people are they start talking about, did you see the football game? It was pretty good. 17 laterals in one play. Good game, guys.
And there was a lot of football talk in that game.
Man,
a lot of smack talk too.
I've been playing on Xbox Live a lot. I've been playing Call of Duty 4 online, and I swear, on like 2/3 of the games that I play, there's some guy, and he's got like a mini TV or a radio set up right next to him, so he can do a play-by-play of whatever frickin' game is on.
Okay, well, let's move on. Let's go to Brent. He went last time.
Brent, you didn't even put anything in
I
here.
know. That's why I want to hear exactly what he did, because there's a big blank spot next to his name.
Well, I played the game. What can I say?
Well, that sounds fun.
I know.
Are you a player?
Did nothing interesting really happened. I
Brent,
I had a lot of fun playing on our server with our group of guys, and I had a pretty good week. I was playing actually a soldier quite a bit and learned soldiers can get the points if they try.
Yeah,
I got killed by you a lot as a soldier.
You do realize that we host a Team Fortress 2 podcast that you're supposed to talk about what you did.
Yeah, and that's what I did.
Well, that's great. Okay.
It's just I had a busy week at work and trying to get the game server to actually be a public server.
You got a few phone calls.
Yeah, you need to make some
you?
excuses for that.
I've been talking to those guys over at gameservers.com.
Yeah, why is the server not public yet?
I keep sending them. Well, first off, when you upgrade the server, the only option is to upgrade slots. Like, you can't upgrade from private to public, which maybe that's not an upgrade in some people's book. It's just a setting, I guess.
A lateral pass.
Yeah, so anyway, I emailed them to say, how do I do this? And they said, well, we can do it if you want to. And I said, yes, I want to do that. And they sent me another one back that said, so do you want to do this? And I said, yes. And so I'm waiting for them to do it.
Okay.
I figured telling them twice is enough.
Huh. That's really great hearing that the people at GameServers.com are so responsive to our needs.
Yes, which is really why everybody should get one.
Okay,
there.
come on. I'm calling stop on the stupid joke.
Okay, fair enough.
So did you hit anybody with a shovel this week?
No.
Oh. That's not
Why
exciting.
would you ask that?
I don't know. Just get some talk going.
I was like trying to remember if I had hit someone on the head with a shovel or not. Let's see. We did play a match with some guys on our server from who were they? Strikers.
Oh God, man!
Talk about them.
Oh, I'll save it for you.
I had a problem with some of them.
Yeah, I noticed. It was.
You did?
Yeah.
How did you notice?
Oh, it was easy, man.
What? I didn't have a headset. What was?
Are you talking about the big guild that came in?
Because I think everybody had a problem with them. Okay, so you know when you go onto someone's server and it's like 4 or 5 on 5, and you like clan up, and when I say clan up, I mean you're like freaking heavy medics and like going at this like it's a clan match and think you're I don't know, it's rather lame.
See, I don't mind that so much. The thing,
go ahead, Spencer.
The thing that bothers me is the thing that bothers me is we were playing on the quad, and one of these guys, I think one of them is actually a control point member, and that's how they got in.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's still a password on the server, so they didn't just join out of nowhere. But one of the guys was like, "Man, what is this map? Man, this sucks." And he was all like going off, and I'm like, "Well, then don't play. If you're not enjoying the game, don't play." And of course, we talked about the quad a little bit, how you can get up on the other person's roof and start raining destruction down on them. So I was a demo man, and I got up on the other team's roof, and I just kept dropping stickies down there, and I was having a lot of fun. And this one guy just said, "Devil Turnip, you suck." You suck. And I'm like, what?
Well, the problem with those guys was, they were actually good. Like, they were really good.
They were good. They were good players, but one
they
of them
really ganged up on you. Like, they'd always be on the same team, which is cool. I understand it's a clan, but they were literally just to the point where they were just griefing because the other team never ever won. And so eventually, I swapped teams to try and balance it out a bit.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
they really just stomp you because I remember on that quad map I think they were all scouts and like maybe 1 or 2 soldiers, and they literally just ran around in circles and they would fight you as 3 scouts, 3v1, and you just couldn't really do anything against it on that kind of map.
I mean, people play the game for different reasons, and I'm totally cool with that. We play to have fun, and we tend to do goofy things every once in a while, and someone coming in and stomping all over everyone just kind of
Yeah,
so don't come in and beat us.
Yeah,
that's just not very fun.
If you're good, get off the server. That's serious.
Totally harsh in my mellow.
I stayed on their side because I wanted to hear what they had to say. So everybody else was on one team, and I was the only one that wasn't of their clan on their team.
Yeah,
pretty much just listening, spying or whatever, right? And they were just going off.
Were they really?
Yeah, they were just insane. Well, at one point they said, we ought to get this other guy in here and see if the CP guys want to scrim. I'm thinking,
scrim?
What? We don't scrim. And then,
but I would like to.
The quad map comes up, and they're like, "Oh man, I hate this map. This map sucks." And then this other guy's like, "No, I heard good things about it." I'm like, "What? Where did you hear that?" I mean, I guess that's podcast.
Does anyone else have it? I mean,
no.
Well, anybody who played it has it, right? Because you download the map and you can throw it up on your server. Then,
yeah. And then they played the quad over and over, and then they said, "Man, let's leave the server. This server sucks." They kept saying that. Let's ride. No, that's what they said. Let's ride, man. Let's ride. Like it was a motorcycle gang coming into town or something.
Selma and Louise going through my head now.
And so, and they came there and they had fun, and that's cool. Whatever. But I did change the name of the server to put casual play on there.
Yeah, I saw that.
I figure it's something to just let clans know that, hey, we're not a place for you to come stomp. It's fine if you want to kind of have fun, but have fun and don't take it so seriously.
That clans will come and stomp you now that you've put casual play. It's like putting noobs only in the title. You put noobs only, everybody's going to come and be like, "There's just a bunch of noobs here. This is free points."
Yeah, but now I also have the ban control where if they come and do that, We'll have to beef that out. We'll have to put the stomp down on him. But anyway, so that's about it. I mean, I was messing around.
Didn't you set up the 4-game win thing? Is that new?
4-game win. What's that?
I don't know. I saw that something about 4-game win. Do we have like shuffling on at a certain point in time?
I think it's a time limit.
Yeah, or 4 wins and you'll swap to the next map.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if that was one of those shuffling things where if one team's rolling over the other, sometimes they'll do a big team shuffle.
No, I haven't put anything like that on. And then we played Gravel Pit, I think, that same night. I think you had gone. That's how I knew.
I left when we were playing the quad because of those
and
guys.
That's kind of what I figured.
I just wasn't having any fun, so I quit.
We were on offense, and I played engineer.
QQ.
And now it's time for a little poo-poo.
Poo-poo. I don't think it's ever time for that.
What is going on with this episode?
I don't know. I think y'all drugged me.
We have problems.
It's Mojache's fault.
Should I move on to my week then?
Yes.
Yeah. If we're not already on it, I don't know.
Yeah, we already talked about the first thing on.
I thought we were on Wes's week.
Well, I wasn't really finished yet.
Oh well, how about
really?
How are you not finished? You didn't have anything to talk about.
I was saving the gold. But okay, never mind. Nothing I can say would be worth it. So go on. It's like every other episode.
All right. Well, my week, most of the week, I spent desperately trying to learn how to do server admin, and I want to go ahead and apologize to every single person that I invited to the game, and then they had to sit there for 20 minutes waiting for me.
There was 20 people in that game. The server was full.
Server was completely full, and it was hung up on a map. And it wouldn't let anyone play. And I'm sitting there trying desperately to find the right password and the right commands. And I've never done any server admin in my life. And finally, I just log on to gameservers.com.
Game servers, nice.
And I reset our server by force. And that fixed the problem. And then right after that, Brent finally called me and told me how to do it the right way.
By the way, Brent, we need server admin school after this podcast.
Yeah,
you got it.
I need to learn how to do this too, because people think I should know it and I don't.
Well, and we can set up some mods too if there's some people who are on there a lot or will be, and we can give them less access.
Oh yeah, you guys could find some good mods. Wink.
Was that a hint?
Wink. That was a wink. If it was a hint, it would have been a hint.
I do apologize for that. Hopefully we'll get all that ironed out.
Is this Forgotten Journeys, or what is it called?
Realms.
Wow, thanks.
Journeys.
That was good.
Wink.
Regular game players will know that I have had a broken headset for a while, and as of today, I managed to get something working.
Nice work.
And I have it here with me.
I'm afraid.
I'm afraid it's going to be like his old pair of shoes with headphones duct taped to him.
I'm not going to lie. Shoes do have something to do with it.
Is it a shoestring?
For the people who are listening,
He's opening a backpack. And he's taking something out of it.
It's play-by-play.
And it is
long and bulbous.
It is a pair of headphones with a microphone tied to the side with shoestring.
And I'm gonna put up pictures of this, but my friend Waylon for Christmas last year, my friend Waylon gave me a wireless Xbox 360 like headset thing, and it's terrible. I can't stand to wear it because it's uncomfortable. But I got it working with my computer, and I figured, why not just tie it to my headphones?
That looks so sad. you're like, you'd be like the homeless gamer or something.
But apparently it works just fine. I mean, Mojache, you were playing with me earlier. Could you hear me okay?
It was. It sounded like an Xbox 360 headset, but yeah.
Ding.
I thought the funny thing was right after I got it working, I said something, and Mr. Eagle was there, and he goes, "Oh, you got your headset working? Wait, but it doesn't sound like Spencer. Are you really Spencer?"
We were playing last night with somebody who was saying they were ghetto too. that they had the ghetto headset. But I don't think that they beat yours. I think that you are officially the saddest, most poor looking headset user I've ever seen.
So I'll put a picture of that up on the website.
And they're actually nice headphones, Sennheiser.
Oh yeah, they're my favorite headphones. Yeah, I spent like $60 on the headphones. So.
And notice he still has no shoes.
No shoes, because I had to use the shoelaces to.
But it goes well down here in Alabama, which brings me to another thing. Someone was asking the other night on our server if who was the one with the accent.
What?
One of us has an accent?
And a lot of people are like,
and you said
all of them about Hector? Or
we all have accents.
You know? And he's like, no, the Southern accent.
The Southern accent.
I'm like, well, we're all rednecks, basically, so it could be any one of us.
We're Southern. I wouldn't go as far as to say we're rednecks.
Yeah.
Oh, be proud.
Like, none of us have mullets or anything.
I have had a mullet in the past.
Really?
Yeah, no, really. In high school, I totally had a mullet.
It wasn't a mullet back then, though.
It was
totally
it was
a mullet.
a pre-mullet.
Yeah, it was. Okay,
prollet?
I won't say anything about it.
Prollet.
So the last thing that I wanted to mention was last week we had our big 100 Steam community member celebration. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are crazy. We're up to almost 140 in a week.
Yep.
And you're terrifying me. Where are you all coming from? I'm afraid to sleep at night. I'm afraid like some guy is going to pop out from my pillow and go, "I love your podcast."
And on that note, sometimes I get Steam messages, and I leave my Steam on all the time. So I'll be playing, like it's on right now. I just saw that Rasputin is now playing Half-Life 2. But anyway, some people will message me, and I'll be in the middle of something. Like I'll be on World of Warcraft fighting Big Boss or something like that, and people will message me. Well, I could take the time out from my game, leave my guildmates, up in the air, and type a message back. But I really think that I should just keep focusing on what I was doing. And I just got a message from Mojache the Moon Princess. Hello, Wes. Anyway.
That's a good point. Both Wes and I also work from home, so
Yes.
We may not always answer.
And it's not I had one person that got upset, like, "Oh, well, fine, if you're not going to talk, blah, blah, blah." And please understand that if I don't reply back, it could be for a variety of reasons. I could be playing a game. I could be working. I could be not sitting at the computer. I could, or let's say that I'm playing and all of a sudden you respawn and you see me standing in the respawn room and I'm not doing anything. And you're like, "Wes, what's going on? Wes, what's going on?" Well, my son might have woken up and I need to go take care of him or something like that. So, please have mercy on us. I mean, we try to be on tap for everybody, but, we're not.
Just to summarize Wes's whole thing there. Baby.
Resupply room. Wes,
you.
Uber me. Wes, Uber me. Wes, Uber me. Wes, they're coming down the hall. Uber. Wes. Oh, we're dead. We're dead, Wes.
It's not you, baby. It's me. Speaking of which, man, we were trying to play Dust Bowl, and I forget who I was playing with, but I'm sitting there like in the setup phase, and I'm like shooting myself with rockets, and I'm running around screaming for this medic. I'm right next to him the whole time, and he's like, I'm looking for you, and I can't find you. I'm right next to you.
I remember that. I was there that game. I was the heavy, and you were a soldier, and there was a medic, and you were going, "Medic, medic," and shooting yourself, and I'm like the heavy, and he's finding me fine, and I'm like, no, him, that's the guy you need to be healing right there, and he's like, "I can't find him," and I'm looking at both of them going, "He's right there." I wish you could point in games.
And really, he had his list of preferred people to heal that he got from our episode sitting right there, and he's like, "No, heavy first."
But yeah, I did do that to Mojache the other night. We were playing, and we were actually, I think it was Dust Bowl, and we were up in the little raised section on that second point, in the little building there, where you come out of the gate, and I was ready to get all Ubered, and we were going to go in, and then my son woke up, and I just left him there.
It was another map though. It was the one where we were like little toys, and then they decided, hey, you know what'd be fun? Low gravity. And so they turned on low gravity. So there was like snipers and engineers building everything on the top of these little toy blocks and stuff. And then 10 minutes into the game, they're like, hey, this isn't working. Let's turn off low gravity. But the engineers already had their stuff up. So it was like now it's literally you can't get to the engineers. They can get up because they got teleporters in their base and everything. So you kill them, they'll just respawn. But it was just like, hey, look, we have guns on every angle of the level.
Absolutely brilliant.
By the way, we were playing in last night on our server, and it went to the melee only at the end, the melee only sudden death. Did you know that our melee only engineers can build sentry guns?
No.
Yeah, I really like that. I think that's unique, and we should really, that's a feature, not a bug.
Well, spies can zap, cloak, and backstab. So
I think that's something you get with servers on gameservers.com.
Yeah. Anywho, okay. So we're done with Spencer.
Yeah, Mojache, you got anything you want to say about your week?
We talked about that thing. What did we do today?
Hey,
Spencer couldn't
you
get the
beat
server working.
your damage. We had a really great medic heavy run where you beat your damage top, right?
No, that wasn't with you, but we had a good one. And then you died.
It was that Uber medic. He Ubered you 7 times.
Died. Oh yeah, and then Spencer turned on the Uber, but then he psyched me out and was like, "I'm going to save it," but I already had ran in, so that was good too.
That was actually totally on purpose. So.
No, I had a good run on. Well, the thing is, the only times you really have good runs is when you play teams that are literally
terrible.
Not new to the game, and I think it was on the CP server. And don't feel bad, guys, but we were playing Granary, I think, the first part where blue team has to come out, get the first point, and then they go through the gate to get to the second. And I had some medic, oh man, I wish I could remember his name because he was really, really good. But we were camping that hut right in front of the door, and we just camped the whole game. We didn't ever die. So it was like 47 kills in one round, and it was so hilarious because they would charge up an Uber and come out, but our Ubers charged pretty quickly because in that little spot, they'll always be shooting nades or something to try and get you out, so you can take a lot of damage. But if you take too much damage, you can back up and get the health. The health pack, and there's ammo there, so it's really good for camping. So
wait, this?
He's talking about Dust Bowl.
Dust Bowl, the third part. That was me and you. Yeah,
was that me? Awesome. No. It was Granary. It was definitely Granary. But see, I always play heavy, so could have been anyone.
A 5 capture point one though.
The third spot where they come out of those 2 doors, and there's the place where you can shoot through the little windows. We were talking about last episode that it was our favorite part of Dust Bowl, the last third part.
The joys of radio.
It is Dust Bowl. Granary is the 3 capture point one. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that was me and you. I believe we were owning those guys.
Well, no, his name was like Tote or Tote Bag or
was it maybe Chaos?
It was something really ridiculous.
You weren't even playing today, Brent.
No, it wasn't today.
It could have been yesterday or the day before. I'm bad with days.
It was the day before yesterday, and we were owning.
Play at 4 a.m. You don't remember F-Nut?
We were owning.
F-Nut.
No, it was like Tiddlywhank or Toit. It was something.
Well, sometimes I do change my name to Tiddlywhank.
No, you don't. Okay, you know what? I'm done with this conversation. Totally done with it.
F-Nut.
But the other thing that you guys probably would hate this server because it's a friendly fire server, but this server is hilarious because you can overheal to 5 times your normal amount.
Oh, weird!
Wow.
So, let's say you normally overheal heavy, they go from 300 to 450. You can heal them to I don't know, 7,000 or something ridiculous.
Whoa.
Basically their health goes all the way up to 450, and then it looks like they're dying because it goes down back to 1, but then it goes all the way back up to 450, then it goes down to 1, and it goes all the way back up to 450. Wow. And so you can literally just overheal somebody. So if you fully heal up a medic or you fully heal up a heavy, they're basically invincible until they eat 3 crit rockets because they're just so high up. But there's fun things you can do with that. You could capture the flag maps. You'd sit in base with a scout. You'd fully charge him up, and he'd just go because he'll slowly lose it. But he has so much that he's just invincible. Or if you're 2 medics, you can literally just heal each other up as you're moving to somewhere. And because this overheal is still counting, by the time you fully charge someone up, you always have Uber. So it's like if you're 2 medics, you have 2 Ubers, and then one goes around and starts meleeing people, and I'm done here. Now it's your turn to have Uber.
I got a story about that, by the way. Have you seen this Snowbridge map?
Yep.
Basically, it's a sniper map. 60% of the people play snipers, and everyone else tries to fight over the control points.
Yeah,
which
I don't like it much.
It's really brutal. And there's a control point in the middle of a bridge that can be accessed by any sniper pretty much anywhere. So anyone who's trying to capture that point can be seen by snipers almost anywhere on the map and will get sniped. And it was just getting ridiculous. I mean, we finally...
me and you played that.
Yeah, and we finally managed to capture that middle point by just throwing people at it over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. But we couldn't get across the bridge to the other side to try to take the point on the other side. Well, me and another medic finally got to the point where we charged up 2 Ubers, and we did a double Uber on the way across the bridge. I Ubered him, and then when it ran out, he Ubered me, and we made it to the other side, and we were needle gunning a bunch of snipers. And we kind of felt pretty proud of that.
You know, I still really want to try a medic rush. I've never seen it done. I mean, you can't kill them, but they can't kill you, and they have to keep trying, and you just keep going in and push your. I think it would be awesome.
If you could cap points while you have like Uber up, that would be unstoppable. But I think that's the only thing that really would stop that plan, because you kind of have to use your Uber the second they attack you, and then one medic would like shoot his needle gun, and then that's it.
Yep, that'll be the end of it.
Well, I think that's it for the week.
Yep. I think it's time to move on. On the loudspeaker.
Loud speaker.
So who wrote this first note here? Who wrote that first one?
Valve says...
Oh, that was me.
That was you?
No,
yeah, I wrote that note.
Oh, wait, yeah. Valve says 24 players is the goal. I don't know what this is referring to.
Where are we?
Well, they don't like 32-man servers, right?
Oh, on the loudspeaker. No, I heard somewhere that that they had taken 32 servers off some kind of list or something because they thought that the game should really only be 24 players.
Well,
you can't.
They blocked 32-player servers from the game browser and haven't given an option to display servers larger than 24 players. Supposedly, the game is made for 12 versus 12.
This sounds like a load of crap to me, because I can go and load up and to a server browser and find 32 players, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Valve has said
I haven't
that
seen
they
you
don't like
lately on mine, but I don't. I usually go to my history and stuff, and I can't. Our server, I won't mention the name where you get it, but our servers, you can't get over 24 players there. And I don't know if that's something they have or what, but
well, you can't make 32-man servers.
I've played on 32-man servers.
Like, I mean, if you try to buy like a 32-man, like, because when TF2 first came out, we were all going to pitch in and get a server, but you can't buy 32-man servers like all the official servers that you would normally buy from. They won't sell you 32-man servers.
So
Valve has said
private.
Those are all like people who just host a server in their house, or they own some way to host a server, because you can't go and like, I want a 32-man server. 24 is the most, because Valve
traffic
they don't
on those
like 32,
32-man
I guess.
servers is deadly.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's tough to get on 32-man servers because they're popular.
All the 32-man servers are normally full. Like, it's like if you want to go play on a 32, you almost have to line up where there's like 2 slots. Like, they fill up quick.
Well, that's a shame. If that's actually true, I hope there's eventually a reversal of decision on that, because I think people should be able to play the game the way they want to play it.
I like the 32-man 24/7 Dust Bowl. That was.
I mean, they're brutal and they're fast and they're just. I mean, they're kind of silly.
They're a nice change of pace.
Yeah, these were not tweaked to work with 32-man games.
Yeah, some of the maps. The thing is, I think Valve doesn't like is their maps aren't balanced for 32 people. And when you throw in 32 people on some maps and capture points, they really just one team always wins, and it's almost always that team. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, clearly, you can't play 32 players on any of the basic maps and have it like be some sort of like pro tournament or anything like that. But personally, I mean, if someone wants to run a 32-man server just for the heck of it, I mean, we were just talking about a medic rush.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, moving on from this piece of dubious information. I did see a video, and I think I mentioned about 6 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago the video where 30 heavies lined up in front of the train and all got mowed down. I saw some more videos of people doing other classes that was kind of funny. But one of the videos I saw this week was called How to Stop a Train. And this guild basically jumped on top of the train as it was going by and built engineering gizmos on top of it. And it
stopped it?
It stopped the train. It could not exit the door because there was things on top of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's weird because I've done that though, and like I've jumped to build the sentry like in this train, and what happens is the sentry just floats in midair. But then when the train comes by, it crashes into and blows up my sentry.
I'm not exactly sure what they did that stopped it, but it involved engineers. And it might be, there might be something goofy you got to do. Like it might be that you have to get a teleporter on there first, or, some other thing that locks onto the surface of the train and won't let it go out the door. But what they did was they built something, and then all of a sudden they either demolished something or stopped whatever they were doing. The train went away, and all the stuff, some remaining stuff that they had built, stayed in midair up there. And one of the things they had done was they had built a teleporter and a sentry, a teleporter exit. And so the engineer could teleport up to the teleporter exit and sit there and repair his sentry in midair. And it was hilarious. There was some neat stuff there. So we'll have a link to that video, and it was very interesting. There's also another video, and it'll be covered. It covers a lot of the stuff we talk about in our dossier segment this week, and it was how to play a heavy.
Another thing that happened this week, we didn't get any official updates to the game. There were no patches or anything like that. But Valve did see fit to release a bonanza of Team Fortress 2 statistics. And we'll put up a link to those. There's a lot of really interesting stuff in there. For example,
the first segment was total time played.
The most played class is the Scout.
And the second is the Engineer, which is kind of fascinating. The weird one is that the least played class is the Medic.
Where's the Medic love, people?
I thought that was really, really strange. The average points earned per class per hour. Number one class, Spencer?
The Sniper.
Last class?
The NG.
Not that surprising.
That's weird.
You
really? I don't know. Like
engineers, it's either feast or famine with an engineer. Either you're getting a lot of points or you're...
But that's with a lot of classes. Like, sniper, like, if you're either really good at a sniper or you get no points.
Well, with engineer, it doesn't necessarily depend on how good you are, just how bad the other team is. We discussed that not too long ago. You can set up a turret and sit around.
But the thing is, a bad engineer could still get lucky and get a ton of points. You set up a level 3 sentry, 4 people walk into it, you get 4 points. But a bad sniper, you're getting no
points. The thing about snipers in particular is they have an endless supply of other snipers lining up to get shot by them. So, when you have the sniper war going on, you have the, tag your it game. And I can see why that would be the number one class.
Oh my God, hacks.
Now, also point out that is points per hour as well.
Yeah.
Average kills per class per hour. Number one is not that surprising.
The Heavy.
And the last one is not that surprising either.
The Medic.
Well, that is kind of surprising because Medic is last, but they're still pretty high up there. Kills per hour, getting 16, its averages at 16. Really?
They're only 2 behind the Scout. The Scout was the second to last. So whereas, the Medic was getting almost 16 kills per hour, the Scout was only getting, 20, 21.
The one thing that this doesn't tell us is the scope of it. Does that mean that the Medic gets overall all of their servers 16 kills per hour?
Yes.
Huh. Yeah. It sounds low.
Captures per hour is pretty predictable. Average lifespan, pretty predictable as well. Number one?
Engineer.
Dun, dun, dun. Big surprise.
Yeah, you're sitting back taking care of your gun. No one ever shoots you. Big deal.
The other...
Actually, that's kind of low, what they have for it. But
well, the average time per life for an engineer in Team Fortress 2 is a little over 1 minute.
Just seems low. I don't know.
It does seem low because, with an NG, it takes at least a minute to get everything up. So are NGs literally running out wrenching people on some servers?
Maybe they're just running out and not
combat NGs.
They're not effective. They're not being good at setting up their equipment. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe people are dumb.
And the class that lasts the least amount of time, a little over 30 seconds.
The medic. Poor medics.
And they've had sprays asking for their death first, so that's understandable.
High priority target.
Yep. Yep. It's not surprising.
The spy is second up, too, so he dies pretty quick.
Now, here is where things start getting weird. Damage dealt per weapon. Now, this is a percentage of total damage dealt in the game. What is the weapon that delivers the most damage in Team Fortress 2?
That's not surprising.
I don't think that's surprising either. The rocket launcher does almost does over 20% of the damage total in the game, and I don't think that's at all surprising because
does that count overkill though?
Sure.
That's it though. Like you hit a guy with a rocket. How much do we know how much a rocket does?
We got it somewhere, but not on.
But say it did 100 damage, right? Say it did 100 damage. Like if you hit a medic once, you take 100. They take 100 damage. You hit him again, do they take 100 damage? Like is that counting 200 damage total done, or is that just the medics?
No, it counts. It counts everything. It doesn't just count the up till they hit points.
But that makes sense then, because the minigun only does 9 damage a shot, so there's normally no overkill. So
right.
And something to point out, though, that the rocket launcher does almost twice as much damage in the game as the minigun, which is the second weapon.
Yeah.
The weapon that does the least amount of damage is the shovel. So the soldier has the biggest amount of damage and the least amount of damage in the game.
Now, this is also, this is damage done. Most soldiers don't pull out their shovel unless they're messing around.
That's true.
Where a lot of other people like the bat's kind of high up, but that's because there's a lot of scouts running around with the bat instead of the gun.
The bat's higher than the shotgun's, the soldier's shotgun, though.
Yeah.
That's how high the bat is.
Yeah.
I think that's actually, that reminds me of something that happened today. I was playing a heavy and Mojache was playing a medic, and I ran out of ammo, and we were trying to corner a pyro, and my shotgun I didn't want to reload it, and so I pulled out my fists and ran into a shack after him. Mojache just said, you're on your own, dude. But then I went in and I melee'd a pirate.
You did kill someone, and then I felt bad because I was like, I probably shouldn't have left him.
And he was a pyro. There was no good reason for me to have been able to kill him, but there it is.
That is one thing about Mojache. When faced with a situation that is stupid, he will not do it where we will. I've noticed this, and I commented on this before we got on the air. Mojache is sharp enough in the game to not only not do stupid things, but to point out the stupid things I'm doing while I'm doing them. So I'll go around a corner.
Great for all talk.
So I'll go around a corner as a heavy and I'll be like, aha, a sentry. And I'll just start shooting. Whereas he'll go, Wes, sentry, back up.
Well, that's the biggest, I don't know if she get into the heavy, but that's one of the biggest things I hate when I heal a heavy is they'll start, I'm shooting a sentry, heal me. Oh, the sentry does more damage than you can possibly heal. Oh, I died. When really you could go around the corner, shoot it, and if you're not going to get it, back up, wait till you're fully healed, and then go back out, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But a lot of heavies just go, I'm being healed, I'm invincible.
Okay, next category, average damage per hit per weapon. And this is kind of surprising.
Yeah, of course, the spy's knife wins just barely over the sniper rifle, so the two instant kill weapons have the most damage per hit. But then after that, we have found that all the melee weapons do more damage than everything else.
So, on average, if you connect with your melee weapon, you will do more damage than if you hit with your gun. Now,
wait. That's per hit. That's
I know. Will you let me finish the damn sentence?
Whoa! I'm just saying, but you're already skewing it where it's totally wrong.
No, I am totally right. If you hit somebody, the odds are If you are swinging a melee weapon, you will do more damage than if you're firing a bullet. But that is because the bullets are often flying at distance, which means it gets reduced for the range that you're shooting. So that's not that surprising. So why don't you shut that smug look off your face while I finish my damn sentence?
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Control Point.
Okay,
But it's also going per hit. You do more damage with a melee weapon per hit than you do with a bullet from a gun.
Yes.
But you're shooting more bullets that are hitting. Like a flamethrower. You see it's the lowest one on there? Mm-hmm. You hit someone with a flamethrower, you're going to hit them 30 times or how many ever times and do a lot more damage than
But
that.
notice how far down the shotguns are.
This is per hit. I mean, there's also a total damage done percentage that we looked at earlier. So
Okay, kids, if you're a heavy and somebody comes at you and you get into melee range, just stop turning the minigun. Because fists, minigun's the fourth bottom. Minigun apparently sucks.
And that's all I'm trying to say.
Well, that's not
Don't pull out your fist.
I was not saying that.
Well, okay, Wes is right. Wes is right in the sense that they do more damage, but not DPS.
Yes.
Like the minigun. Minigun doesn't, minigun does more damage per second than a heavy fist, but that's because a heavy fist swings once per second. So,
Yeah.
now there's one last stat here that I want to go over before we move on, and that's average damage, distance damage, and that's it. The only thing that I found was interesting from that is out of all of the melee weapons, the Pyro's fire axe has a longer range. I had
that's
no
a
idea.
massive longer too.
Yeah, quite a bit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It has almost triple the range of any other melee weapon.
You know what's funny is it almost has as much range as the flamethrower.
As the flamethrower, yeah.
Yeah. And also the last stat, you have a much greater chance of getting a critical with a melee weapon than you do with any other weapon. That's pretty much it.
No, there's one other thing I want to talk about.
Oh, gosh.
At the bottom of the list.
Wes is so angry.
No, this isn't anger. I'll show you anger.
Oh, no.
I don't want to see anger now.
No, they did a round winning thing where they had a layout of the percentage that games of Dust Bowl, Granary, Gravel Pit, Well, Two Fort, and Hydro are won by each team. You would think that this would be pretty straightforward. For instance, the defense maps, Gravel Pit and Dust Bowl, have a slightly better chance for red to win. On Dust Bowl, it's significantly higher. However, on Granary, Two Fort, and Hydro, all these maps have a greater than 50% chance that the blue team won the match. You might say, well, it's only slightly more, but then there's a whole section of stalemates on some of these maps. So on Well in particular, it appears that red only wins about 33% of the time, whereas blue wins over 50% of the time. This is an interesting statistic. And I'm not really sure why it's cool, but I have always chosen blue. And I never really thought about it, but I choose blue because of some intrinsic value that I find subconsciously in blue. And evidently there's something about people who pick blue that makes them winners.
Or maybe
there you go.
You pick blue, therefore all the other people that play blue.
That's correlation. That's bad statistics.
In case you guys didn't know, Wes has a degree in mathematics.
Oh, that's why you find this interesting.
Yeah, he's a total
You don't find
dork.
it interesting?
I like the parabola. Do you see the correlation of the parabola? That's
Tales of a dodecahedron.
All right, you know what? If you guys want to look at these stats, we'll put a link up. Let's move on.
I don't know. I can't believe you guys don't
So
find that
this week
interesting.
we're doing the heavy.
Doing
Yes.
the heavy.
Heavy time.
Yeah, heavy.
Wait, there were two other things in our on the loudspeaker segment.
Oh, that's okay.
No, really, I want to talk about it. What is the matter? You guys are normally gabbing it up, and for some reason you want to shut me up today.
well,
You seem angry
we're
today.
15 minutes in.
You seem.
I don't
But
know.
Spencer's the angry one.
I know.
I've
Normally.
found Buddha. Okay, I should say I mean no offense to our Buddhist listeners.
Wow.
Wow, it wasn't offensive until then. Anyway, okay. There's something new this week that I just found out about. I don't know if it's new for anyone else. People pointed it out in the skyscraper map, but there is evidently something now called the engineer or the medic syringe jump.
Wait, here it says engineer syringe jump.
No, I think I mistyped that.
Okay, because I was really confused.
But the basic idea is you get an engineer to build a dispenser, and you get medics around them, and evidently there's some knockback on the syringe. So all the medics get down on the ground and shoot up at the engineer that is on top, or whoever that is on top of the dispenser, and they're able to knock that person up in the air using their medic guns.
Wow. That's crazy.
I know.
Wait, their own
Wait,
teammates?
like really high?
No, not really, really high.
It couldn't be their own teammates because
No, it is.
You don't do any damage or anything to your own
you don't even
teammates.
impact your own
Yeah, it
teammates.
goes through.
Really?
Doesn't it?
Well, maybe-
Oh, I
Might
don't
just be
know.
on that map or something. Maybe that map has like a sort
know.
of collision or friendly fire.
but
But I'm glad we went and talked about this, though.
Well, you know what? I almost thought, wow, I'm going to try that. Next time I see a guy
I
in a
heard that
dispenser,
Valve only lets
shoot the
24
ground.
people play the game now.
Oh my God! The hostility in this room is just dripping off the
Angry.
walls.
It's angry.
Okay, and what's his what's this right-handed weapons thing?
We got
That's
an
where you use
email.
the right hand to shoot your weapons.
We
We're
got
not
an-
sure if everybody knew that.
We got an email from.
I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm leaning back.
I don't have the person's email here, but we'll give him a shout out later. Basically, he wanted to point out that both the syringe gun and the rocket launcher have are wielded from the right side. And for bullets, that doesn't matter because bullets immediately hit their target. But for both the syringe gun and the rocket launcher, there's a little bit of bias where if you are very, very close to your target, you might miss them because your rocket or syringes will go to the right. And this can be very easily exploited for purposes of taking out sentry guns. If you find a good corner where you can just poke your right side out just a little bit, you can fire around that corner without exposing yourself at all.
And it'll still look like your gun shooting at the wall, but you'll actually be going past it.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I haven't tried it yet, but it was a good tip.
And that was one from Jonathan Walsh. Sent that in.
Yeah, thank you. So this week, our dossier segment, we are talking about the heavy, as we have already said about 10 times. Wes, take it away.
Okay, the heavy. Considered a defensive class for some weird reason. The heavy is able to deal a tremendous amount of damage and has the highest health in the game, with 300 fully charged by the medic. That turns into 450, and that is a whole lot of sponge that the heavy can take. The primary weapon of the heavy is the minigun. It holds 200 rounds. Each one deals how much damage? Anybody check that?
9?
9?
I think it's 9.
9 times?
Again, dependent on range and all
There
that.
it is.
It might be 9, but I think it shoots 4 every 0.1 of a second or something, like 4 bullets every 0.1 of a second. So 40 bullets a second or something.
Yeah,
I think that's about
it's
right.
something gross.
Yeah.
It's great. You kill people with it.
Yes. And if you're at close range, you kill lots of people with it.
Yep.
It more than any other weapon other than the flamethrower, of course. The minigun seems to do exponentially more damage the closer you get to the heavy.
I think it's just a factor where more bullets will hit the person.
More bullets hit. Yeah.
Good point. The minigun only has 200 bullets, which can prove to be a liability. That gives you probably about, 25 seconds of straight shooting?
I've never timed it.
But I would think that would be about right. His secondary weapon is the shotgun, standard secondary weapon, 6 shots, 32 rounds that you can hold completely, and his melee weapon is the fist. One interesting thing, if you pull out your fists, your left mouse button does a left, your right mouse button does a right. And,
I didn't know that.
And
Really?
If you
Yeah.
crit, you do an uppercut.
Really?
Absolutely.
I had no idea.
Absolutely.
I've
Wow.
just been hitting people with my right fist.
Yep. You can
Had a
do a
left
combo.
fist the whole time.
Man, I never knew that either.
Really? Yeah. And notice, if you do a crit, it's an uppercut.
Wait. So Brent, if you go next to a corner and the sentry's right around the corner, could you look at the wall and punch it with your right fist or left fist?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I've never tried it.
That was actually Spencer that said that earlier, but Thanks for.
Well, I was just addressing it to Brent. Brent never talks. Like, you got to throw Brent and Eric Bones. Like, this is like the Wes Spencer.
Spencer show.
Say, Eric, man, you've been like really quiet, Eric.
Man, this movie's kicking my ass. I'm like dazed over here. 14-hour days has got to end.
Look, a monkey.
Get closer.
Okay, back to the heavy before it gets all gained.
Okay, when the minigun, like I said, is a devastating weapon, even at moderate ranges. However, the weapon takes a little while to spin up. The barrels have to get turning, and then once it gets to a certain speed, the bullets start flying. However, your special attack, the right mouse button, while the minigun is out, causes your barrel to start spinning up beforehand. That way, as soon as you hit the left mouse button, you will have bullets flying because you're already spun up to speed. The trick is if you have your weapon spinning, your movement is some of the slowest in the game. You are going 33%? Was that it?
Yeah, 33%, and you're already slow. So
yeah, you're the slowest class, and if you have your weapon spun up, you're moving, which is probably why, for the most part, they consider it to be a defense class because you are not moving forward. You can, but it's very, very slowly.
With its wide field of fire, the Heavy's minigun lets players who don't have great twitch aiming skills still wade into the thick of combat. To make up for this reduction in the value of the player's aiming skill, we amplify the importance of other skills. For instance, the wind-up time before firing and the Heavy's reduced speed while firing force players to learn to anticipate both the start of combat and incoming enemy attacks.
I guess move on to the tips. There's not really not much to talk about.
You know, Mojache, why don't you go first with your tips? Because I know you play heavy a lot.
Heavy tips. Well, the thing is, the heavy class doesn't really require. The nice thing about the class is it really doesn't require aim. Like, it's not one of those classes where you have to really know where you're. You don't have to hit your target. You just point at an area, you spray, things die.
Pinpoint accuracy isn't really an issue.
Yeah, the heavy's more of a situational awareness class. You really have to be good at knowing where to shoot. Like, you need to almost predict where people are going to come from. If you know, like, if you see a guy hide behind a corner, you need to think, okay, is he going to come back out the corner, or is he going to go around and hit me from a side? And all that jazz. I think you already. I don't know if you already said it, but one of the biggest things about heavy is when you move into a new room, you have to, or you jump and spin your gun at the same time. Because while the slowest part about the heavy is charging your gun, and if you run into a room and your gun isn't charged, people can literally run away from you. They will get out before you start killing them,
or kill you.
Or even kill you. Yeah. Well. But
especially if you're running into another heavy who is already primed.
Yeah, if you run into another heavy and he's charged, he's already rolling his gun, and you're not, you're dead. There's no way you're getting out of that. The only thing you might as well do is just run away at that point, because if you run into another heavy and he's already got his gun rolling, just back out, because there's no way you're going to catch up and win.
Yeah.
Without crits.
Okay.
The biggest thing I find with the heavy is basically you really have to know the maps, and you have to know where people come from. Like, especially these stat sheets will almost help you, if you can look and see where people normally die, because you really need to know where everybody's going to come from and where to go. And I think the heavy probably benefits from the medic the most. Everybody always talks about the medic heavy combo. So the thing I find with the medic heavy combo is you really need to make sure that you're not letting yourself die. That medic can keep you healed, but you can't just stay there and think you're invincible. If you go below 300, if you're not overhealed anymore, you need to back out. Because if you just stay out there, you're going to die, and then you're useless. You really have to be conscious of your own health, because a lot of medics they'll basically just go crazy to save you. They don't care about their own health. Oh, a rocket? I don't care. I have to save this heavy. So you really have to almost help those medics out by backing out whenever they come at you.
And you're going to get that medic killed too.
Yeah, staying alive is also your responsibility, even if you're being healed.
And with the medic heavy combo, one thing for the heavy to keep in mind is that he is responsible for the life of the medic. The medic cannot do anything to defend himself as long as he is keeping you overhealed. So play
medic. Spencer knows. Yeah. Well, when I play medic, literally, I don't care. Like, if that heavy starts to do something dumb, I'm out.
Yeah,
the thing with medic is
when I'm playing heavy, I'm the same way. If you charge headlong into a stupid situation, then you're going to be doing it without me. My ability to charge up an Uber is more important than.
I'm a glory.
Yeah,
hound.
that's
medic,
really how I play medic. I think it's kind of you have to decide though. I mean, you can be that it can work both ways. It's your play style. You can be offensive. I'm going to save this heavy's life, or you can be this heavy doesn't know how to play. I'm going to go find somebody else.
Sometimes I will charge in with a heavy just to disrupt what's going on. If I can shove that heavy into the opposing lines and cause a disruption, it is going to stop. It's going to stop the reinforcements to the front line, which will allow the people that are behind me to push forward.
I think that if you're looking for an effect like that, I think that scouts and pyros are far more effective. Personally.
Well, but if you're already going to be there, I think one of the good heavy medic tactics is to pull out that needle gun a lot more, because if you're walking into a situation where you're going to be instantly dead, the heavy that is, then you're not going to be able to heal him enough anyway, right? So, but if you walk in and you're blazing your needle gun a little bit and then healing him up and then going back and forth, you're doing damage as well, and you can kind of pinpoint damage backwards, and to the sides a lot faster than he can if he's directing at something else.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we're
I don't want Brent to be my medic.
We're getting over
awesome
into
medic.
medic talk here at this point, but whenever you pull out your needle gun, that means you're not building up Uber charge.
Yes. I do think that medic heavy is part of heavy because it is such a strong part of the game. I don't think you can really get out of this discussion.
You can't really talk it because heavy and medic go hand in hand. Like if you play, well, the thing is, if you play heavy and you don't have a medic, you have to play very conservatively. You can't just run in and go, I'm killing everybody. You have to hide behind corners, almost wait for people to come into your
it changes the whole game.
Man, I found a really, really awesome thing to do with a heavy without a medic. Was playing on not Weld. I can never. Anyway, I was playing on a map, and I picked heavy, and there were two spies right directly in front of me, and I was like, "Ooh, I wonder what will happen." And they cloaked. And I followed the cloaks because you can just barely see the outline of the cloaks, and I followed them. And sure enough, I ran into about 3 guys, and all they saw was a heavy undefended. And I started firing to draw them, and the spies just killed them all. And it worked really well. And I don't know if that was a situational thing, but you don't necessarily have to have a medic to be an effective heavy player, is my point.
Yeah, you don't need a medic, but I mean, it's light and day when you have one and when you're not. Because I'll often play heavy without a medic. I do it all the time, but you really have to be conservative. I mean, one of the biggest problems with a heavy is your ammo. That almost has, like, your ammo and staying alive are your primary concerns. Like, if you see somebody who is more than, say, 30 yards, I don't even know how do you measure how somebody's far away? I don't know. If they're not in maybe, I don't know how you measure, but I mean, they have to be close for your railgun to be effective.
The engineer's got a tape measure.
Yeah, yeah. If somebody is, you basically get used to it. But if somebody's out of your railgun's range and you're shooting at them, you're just wasting ammo and you're wasting time.
Yes.
Especially if they're a sniper. I mean, that is the worst possible enemy.
It's so funny. It's so funny watching a freaking heavy from across the map just unload an entire clip into a sniper that's just calmly.
And you won't even kill him. You might do 20 damage to him. I mean, if you see a sniper or you sniper dot, you got to go another way, because the second you start chaining your gun, it's like you're not moving. It's a free headshot. So that's your worst enemy.
Talking more about the medic stuff, like I said, I really feel as the heavy, you're the medic's babysitter. You need to stand in places that will limit attacks on the medic. Stand in doorways, stand in corners, make it so that people will have a difficult time getting by you to get to the medic. Medic, I really recommend that you kind of go back to back if you can with the heavy, because the spies are going to come and get you first. So your goal, you should try to back against a wall in a corner, or put your back to the heavy where the spy will get hurt by the bullets that he's spraying out.
Well, I play medic totally different though. Like when I medic a heavy, I constantly move. because the thing with the heavy is he almost has like a vision of what he can see and can't. I mean, he can only see what he's looking at. But when you're a medic, all you have to do is, be in range and line of sight to shoot that beam. You don't even have to face him. You can turn the opposite way. So when you're a medic, you almost play like a scouting party. And I was medicing Spencer today, and I'd be like, Spencer, on your right, get on your right, your other right. Right. No, shoot him on the right. Yeah, that guy. Shoot him.
I do not know my right from left. I do not know my right from left. I'm sorry.
And I'll point out that in wide open areas, it is very important for the medic to be running figure eights and just staying mobile, because what's going to happen is people are going to get confused when they are faced with a medic heavy combo. They're going to want to shoot the medic first. But if they fail to connect with many shots, they will sometimes switch to the heavy to try to take that heavy down because they can connect with their bullets. If you're running around a lot as a medic, you can sometimes lose the fire that would normally kill you and distract it onto the person that you're healing. One other comment is you might, if you're the heavy and you are at a corner and you step out to start shooting things that are around the corner, your medic is going to be standing, away from the line of fire. If you step too far forward, you're going to lose that medic gun beam. I understand that sometimes you need to push an advantage and you need to be moving forward, but if you're worried, if there is too many bullets flying, do not move forward and put your medic into the line of fire who is trying to keep you healed.
Well, the thing is, you're right. The heavy has to babysit the medic. But the thing is, you have to babysit the medic really conservatively. And your medic literally has to play like, if you die, it's not my fault. It's your fault. That's really how you have to play. Because if you go out and you run around a corner with a heavy and you get hit with a crit rocket, you're dead. And then the heavy dies. But if a heavy runs out and he gets hit with a crit rocket, but it doesn't hit you because you just let him take the hit, then he can come back around the corner and get healed. Yeah. That's why when you play a heavy, you really have to be watching your health, watching your ammo, making sure when you kill someone, you walk over their ammo. That's absolutely huge. When you kill someone and you're moving forward, you have to be thinking, where am I going to get my ammo next? Because you will run out very, very quickly. That happens all the time. And the biggest thing is, I think you guys talked about it in the medic podcast, but when you come up to sentries, there's two ways you can deal with it. You can either try and line of sight it where the sentry isn't hitting you, but you're kind of shooting your gun at the corner, so half your bullets are kind of hitting it, and that'll work if the engineer isn't repairing it. But if you're going to do it and just run out, if it is too far away, you're just going to have to run past it.
Yes.
Like if it's just on the other side of the map and the engineer's repairing it, even if you have Uber, you have to just run away because you won't kill it. It won't happen.
And with that, a few bullets hitting it sometimes, if the engineer is repairing it, you generally will not be able to take it down. Additionally, if it's too far away and you're doing that half hit on the sentry gun, then you'll run out of bullets before you're ready.
Yeah, I don't play the heavy much. In fact, it's my least played character, but I like to play it, or I like to see the heavy as a walking turret, because that's really what he is.
Yeah.
And I like to play around
and he can hop a hopping turret.
Yeah. I like to position myself where you would normally put an NG turret and just, stand there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like in a crack somewhere right around a corner. And then after I've killed a few people, move to another good spot that a turret would be good. Don't just stay there. So it's kind of like a sniping turret.
A smart
mobile
sniping turret. Yeah. It doesn't fall to sentry logic.
Yeah.
Right.
And we talk about this a lot about the different classes, how Valve's classification of them doesn't always hold up. And heavy's one of them. They say it's a defensive class. But a well-played heavy can really do just about anything.
Yep. Yeah. Teleporters. If you see a teleporter, use it. You're slow. You're slow. Unless
the teleporter just takes you right next to
Unless you see a scout. Like, scouts normally should always get those teleporters.
Scouts and spies, yeah.
Yeah. So our end tip for the heavy really is scouts should get to use teleporters, and heavies should always double jump.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if there's not a teleporter set up, request one. A lot of times engineers get busy and they're working on their sentry. And anyway, and if you just remind them, hey, look, there's a heavy in the game, and we got a ways to go. They'll build one for you. Mm-hmm. As you're moving to the front lines, holler for a medic. As you're going forward, you're going to be helping them build their Uber. Now, if the medic is already latched onto a target, don't keep yelling medic at them, okay? Usually medics are smart enough to know that once you hit it once, you're fine. They go, oh, there's a heavy right there. But if they're latched onto somebody, you're not automatically entitled to all the medic's attention.
You do know how to steal, though, right? You know how to steal a medic beam. If you walk in front of the beam and you spam the medic, they automatically start healing you. I'm sure it's happened where you're like, well, why aren't I healing my target anymore?
Is that why you're always... I mean, you are the worst person on
that. Doesn't work.
You hit that,
Garrett,
that
it
button.
happens all the... Because what happens is if there's like a soldier next to you, and the thing is, it happens when you cross a corner and the medic loses sight of you, you know what I mean? And he goes to target you again. If somebody else has targeted medic, the game plays smart and says, oh, you wanted to heal this person because he's calling for heals. That's why I know it's annoying, but when you're with another medic and you're around other players, I literally spam it. That way I don't lose my heal beam, because it happens all the time. I go, where did my beam go? Sorry, I was healing the scout. He asked for it.
Now it all makes sense.
I'm calling crap on that. I don't.
We will go test it, because that is why I spam it.
I'm perfectly happy to do that, but I do not think that you saying medic has anything to do with the healing guns logic.
We got a few tips here. I think we should just run through them real quick. Your main enemies as adversaries, rather, as a heavy, are the sniper and spy.
And to keep understand where that's going, when fighting, if you see the dot, avoid it. Avoid the snipers at all costs. They're going to take you out, unless you can get them from the side. And spies, when you're seeing shielded spies, when you're firing your gun and you hit a cloaked spy, they will shimmer for a second. So one thing, if you can get your backup to, a dispenser or something, and you can have a steady stream of bullets, you can literally become a spy detector by throwing bullets down a hallway.
Next tip, we already covered this a little bit. When you are about to go around a corner as a heavy, jump and spin up at the same time. That lets you both get ready to fire and gets you around the corner without being a target for a second there.
Slow,
right?
Moving man.
Crit shots.
Yeah. Well, when you are the heavy and you're firing, if you get one crit, you've got about 10 more coming. So if you see one little crit shot go off, and you don't have a target, stop shooting. Your next 9 bullets or so are going to be crit shots.
Yep, you can save that crit up, and that helps out occasionally.
Okay, I'm going to call shenanigans on that one.
I've done it many times.
Really?
Yeah.
You can really do that? Yeah. I've never noticed that. I've tried to do that before too.
It's not like saving up an Uber. You don't have an unlimited amount of time on it. You've got a couple of seconds of play. That's it. You can't save it up for an entire encounter or anything like that. But definitely, if you hear the electric sound and you stop firing and pick another target.
But that might just be because all of those shots were crits, though. Maybe it's a time. Like if it's get crit once you get it, you get crits for 3 seconds.
Maybe it is, but
like
it's
3 seconds or something.
Yeah. I swear there is some sort of an effect there going on. I really do think, based on some previous exploits that we've seen that let you store up a critical like melee attack or something like that we've seen, I think that the way it works is once a critical has begun, you have it for a while, and that's I really do think that's how it works. Now it might bear some more testing,
because the way the criticals work on the heavy is we were saying what 10 shots a second or something like that, or 20 shots a second. Your critical will be for a range of those bullets. And every single bullet that flies in that range will be a critical. So once you get one, I do think that you get the rest of them, even if you don't fire them immediately.
That's the one time. If you start seeing those crits rolling, any logic is you throw out the window. It's all gone. If you see a sniper and you crits start rolling, you just keep letting him go.
Agreed.
If you see a turret, you keep going because because crits can kill everything. I mean, you get crits and you're shooting at a sniper across the bay, you could actually kill him because you got some lucky crits.
Let's see. Our next tip here.
Keep a friend.
Keep a friend. We already covered that.
Well, now this also covers something else. Your back is usually not covered. Even when you have a medic, you do not have somebody looking behind you. If you can get someone else with you to watch your back, like a pyro or a soldier or something like that, and you get sort of this tag team thing going, then you will be a much, much safer heavy.
Yeah, and that works for everyone, really.
Yeah, if you can get
Pyro's really good.
people to come up behind you and watch your back, you're pretty safe.
The thing is with the pyro, they just fixed the pyro so he can shoot forward, and that really turned around that class.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, big time.
and because I know you guys have like the table of who you Uber, man, like Ubered pyros just destroy everything nowadays. Like you can just take out sentries by like all of them. Like they got 4 sentries. Oh, I got Uber. They're all gone because you don't get the same knockback effect that you do with the heavy. So
Very true. Let's see. Next tip: long range is not your friend. So
yeah, we kind of
don't make friends with long range.
And
That is one of the main weaknesses of the heavy, his inability to do damage or even provide any intimidation at long range.
Yeah, because his secondary is a shotgun, and it's no better at long range than his main. So
yeah, but if he can get up there with his fist, he's doing all right.
and I think other than this last one, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just thinking about it. I've seen situations where you've been kind of pinned back somewhere, and like a heavy will be waiting for that Uber, to move out and get ready, and they'll just stand back with the medic, and maybe there's not a soldier doing the whole medic soldier dance to get that Uber up. So I think one good thing to remember is to move out a little bit and let yourself get hit, even though you're not going to be able to do any damage to help get that Uber up faster.
That's a good tip.
And we've covered this in the past too. Dispenser and a heavy together are like chocolate and peanut butter.
Reese's.
Yeah.
You got your heavy in my dispenser?
Wow. Oh, man.
Our dispenser got...
Get behind me, doctor.
Hey. I know where you're going with that one, young man. Get off my yard.
And we got a tip here from... Mwaf.
Yeah, we're all like scared about saying names wrong now.
All right, yeah. we got
a scolding.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Meja win.
Just so everyone knows, Meja win posted in our forums that it's Myja win with a long I.
I'm still calling you Meja win.
And my reply was, we're from Alabama. We say Fiji, not Fiji. And
to be fair, we also say Arab.
Arab.
Yep.
Tiki torch, not Taiki.
But anyway, Moaf sent in a tip that when you get out of your respawn, switch to fist, hold down fire, and taunt
C2,
C3, etc. Do this to distract yourself from screaming medic. You don't need a medic with 300 hit points in your own base.
That's kind of funny.
Next week, we're going to be talking about the demo.
The Demo Man.
Demo Man. I know Wes is looking forward to that. Are we going to have a guest host for that one?
Possibly. We'll have to double check with old Prodigal or Prodigal. I don't know how to say names anymore. I'm screwed.
Actually, if you're to pronounce the umlaut, it's going to be Prodigal. Prodigal.
Is he Scottish now? I don't
know.
Well, that's German.
Or Icelandic.
Yeah, I know that, but how you said it sounded Scottish to me.
Well,
if he is Scottish, it's perfect for the demo man.
Get behind me, doctor. Okay.
Now that we're out of the dossier, anybody want to hear my new ringtone?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna play it. It's on my cell phone.
Wow.
How do you ever hear that?
Do you notice he never answers his phone, don't you?
Great.
That is
very true.
I always just assume you're sleeping.
That's the best.
That is pretty good.
Anyway. Okay,
Let's see. Listener contributions.
I've got one.
You do?
Really?
Yeah, from me.
from you.
Oh no!
Since we never got to it up in the other part, but I hadn't. It's a class we've already covered, so
okay.
I thought I'd go ahead and say it before it becomes useless. But a couple things with an engineer, if your sentry gun gets blown up and you need to set up fast, detonate all your equipment except for the dispenser and use it, because you can use the debris from that as extra ammo.
That's actually
so you can get your gun up and then just blow the stuff and get it back up.
That's a good idea.
Another thing is with that, sorry, it goes with it though. When people are coming in, like when you're setting up your first sentry, usually you'll get like one kill, before someone notices it, and it'll usually be a scout rush.
Yeah.
Go get his gun before you go in and to the respawn
it's free
room,
metal.
and
Yeah.
you can metal up that way.
But other than Brent, who is apparently a listener now, you guys, you didn't send us any voicemail or MP3s, and
We didn't get anything.
yeah.
No love.
And
I know
maybe
there's
our
a lot
Skype
of
was
you out
broken,
there.
'cause we had issues today, but
I know there's a lot of you out there because
I probably all got ready for the Skypecast. They're all like, "Oh, let's go tell them live." Oh,
that's true.
we are
Never
sorry
saved
that the
gold.
Skypecast did not happen this week.
Blame Skype
Blame Skype.
or Eric's network. I'm not sure.
Eric's
Or
network is
Brent.
also terrible.
Or
Yeah.
Brent.
But see, I don't
Brent.
get it, because we've got
Brent?
Mojache on.
Yeah, he's talking
Skype
to us
right now.
through
It
Skype.
could be my fault too. But we got Mojache on Skype, so I don't know why the Skypecast doesn't work. But anyway, well.
Shout outs. Let's see. I got a message right before I left to come to the studio. Mr. Eagle asked us to announce that he did indeed own some noobs for Clyde Frog. I don't know what that's all about, but I support it.
And we've been blowing up today ever since we said we were going to start the Skypecast with people trying to get on. So
We got some
lots of shout outs to you guys trying to get on. Thanks for trying.
We'll try and get it worked out for next week.
And just to let some people who made some contributions, and there are more than this, these are just the ones that I'm mentioning now. JohnMazz, Master Hobbs, Maija Win, and Communism for their heavy tips.
Thank you.
We always like to thank communism.
Oh, the red threat.
And a couple clans we'd like to thank. We'd definitely like to thank Clan Bro. You guys are awesome. Thanks for listening.
You know what else? I'd like to actually, there is a clan that we have at least one member from, and it's Fight Club. And
whoa.
What?
We don't talk about Fight Club.
That's the first
Anyway, I've joined their server several times, and it's good times there. They're fun to play with.
Cool.
There's also a clan I Am. You've seen them?
Yeah.
And there's a member in there named Turnip.
I know. I hate that guy.
I Am Turnip.
I've seen that. It makes me angry because he's not I Am Turnip.
And then S2A. Those guys are awesome. Thanks for listening.
Are you just reading these off at random? What's going on here?
No, S2A. Yeah.
Have we got more?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, dig us.
I'd like to thank Wes for
Being so
on the
angry.
podcast.
Wes?
You've become the angry
thank you,
man.
Wes.
Oh, thank you, Spencer. I'd like to thank Eric. Eric, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you for thanking me.
And thank you,
Wait,
Mojache.
Eric's on the podcast?
Thank you, Mojache. Thank you for coming.
I just woke up.
Yes, Mojache
okay.
sat along with our trials and tribulations with Skype today and hung in there to get on
Yep.
line.
So anyway, dig us. Just hit that dig button on our Control Point website. Send us more iTunes comments. Join the Team Fortress community and the forums. Or give us a call. 256-513-4772.
Get behind me, Doctor!
Okay, so it's not as good as my medic. Come on. I do much better.
Time to run, cowards!
You are now at the end of another episode of Control Point,
Victory.
Every one of you deserves a medal!
a podcast brought to you by the Dead Workers Party. See the show notes and leave comments for this episode at controlpoint.deadworkers.com or leave us a voicemail at area code 256-513-4772.
Auf Wiedersehen!
Thanks a lot for having me, guys.
It was not bad.
Oh, I forgot to record.
Ooh.
He says that every week. That trick never works. Actually, he got me once.